Welcome back to the battlefield, Mech Warriors. I'm Nightshade, and this video is all about mods. This is going to be a little bit different format than what you're used to. What I'd like to do is show you the mods that I use and the means that I have to use them, and then also give you an easy place to go if you would like to use some or all of the mods that I use. So let's get started. First, I use a mod manager called Vortex. It's the mod manager for the Nexus website where you get mods at, and it looks like this. So I have all my mods here that are relatively convenient to do, and then what I can do is I can check for updates for them and get them to update. So this is like one update found, so I can go in here and update it. But what I plan on doing is another video shortly after this one that will explain how to install mods, and then if you would like to use the Nexus Mod Manager, how to use the Nexus Mod Manager as well. And that will be a later video. When I do make that video, I'll put the link for it down below. I personally use Nexus Mods to do my mods. You can use Steam, but I just like using them here because of the mod manager. It just makes it easier for me. So this is Nexus Mod, and this is where you can get MechWarrior 5 mods. The other thing that I did was I created a collection. So if you click on that link, you can go to my collection, and it will show you all the mods that I use, and you can download them individually if you want, or you can just download the whole thing. I also created a Steam list. So if you have the game on Steam, you can use this list to add the mods to your collection. There are a couple of mods that you can't get on Steam, and I will have those listed down below in the description. So now on to the actual mods that I use. First off, what I'd like to talk about is the load order. The load order matters because it impacts the functionality of all of your mods. I use the load order manager to find the best order for this specific set of mods. And I spent a lot of time testing it so that you guys don't have to. Now keep in mind, if you use any additional mods, you might have to find a different order. And if you look on my load order list, you'll notice that some of these have stars. Those starred mods should be loaded in this specific order. These are the ones that get overwritten or are overridden based on where they're at. These ones up here don't overwrite or are overridden by any of the other mods above that threshold. You can get the load order manager that I use here on Nexus Mods. And this is what that looks like. And again, when I do the video on how to install mods, I'll go over how this works. But basically, with the load order manager, you can decide which ones load the way that you want. So what I mean by overriding, so like yet another weapon, it's overridden by yet another clan evasion. So if you look at these, this is the least amount of overwrites that you can do based on these mods that I use. All right, so now on to the mod showcase. So I have listed the mods. So if you look over here, top right, I have listed the mods and grouped the mods based on how Nexus Mods uses descriptions. These are the gameplay mods. I use Advanced Career Start, and what this does is it allows you to start a career and have options that you normally wouldn't have. So you can choose what kind of C-bills you start with, the starting year, factions, mechs, pilots, pilot XP. It just adds a number of utilities that allow you to do the career start that you would like. The next is Battle Grid orders. This is actually a mod that I just started using recently, and what it does is when you open your battle grid by hitting B, well, I use B, that's the default, you can inspect targets. You can also give move orders and attack orders by a button click. The TT Rules AI mod makes the AI perform better, and that's for both your lance mates and the enemy. It helps with the behaviors and logic to make the AI seem a little more human. So like they will hide behind rocks or rock formations or buildings. They'll peek behind those objects as well. The next mod is yet another heatsink restriction, and all that does is you can't put single heat sinks with double heat sinks, and then you can't install a double heat sink kit if you have heat sinks or single heat sinks. 330's pilot overhauls the whole pilot system. It gives a ranking system. It increases or decreases wages, quirks, and fatigue. It also does some balance on top of that because it's adding to and taking away from the default vanilla version of MechWarrior 5. All right, so those are my gameplay mods. Now we'll do user interface. These mods just help with the UI. That's self-explanatory. Armor Green adds colors to the paper doll, and for me it just makes it a little easier to read. Better Lance Status adds paper dolls for your lance mates instead of just the regular menu that you have at the top. It shows like your paper doll, and it shows where they've been damaged or their armor's damaged and such. Simple Zoom actually has two versions. There is a version that uses Advanced Zoom, and then there's the Simple Zoom that I use. The difference between them is the Advanced Zoom actually has a picture in it that will zoom in for you, and then the Simple Zoom just magnifies your screen to the 4x and 8x zoom option. Star Map Mouse Over allows you to mouse over the different systems on the overhead map, and it gives you a readout and level of the missions that are available for that system or planet. Okay. And then moving on, these are mission mods. Coyote missions, it adds all kinds of different missions to it, and they're procedurally generated. It just adds more missions on top of what the vanilla missions are. So like attack and defend, patrol, recon, and so on and so forth. Von Missions adds the Solaris games to MechWarrior 5. In the Battletech universe, the Solaris games were the most popular and prominent gladiatorial games in the Inner Sphere. So basically it's just mech on mech combat, but it's in an arena style. So there's a free-for-all, and then he also has lances against other lances. I really enjoy this mod. It adds a different type of combat or a different type of mission to the MechWarrior 5 universe, which is really fun. It breaks up the missions, and you get really cool rewards for it as well. I've actually played these games in a couple of the episodes that I've done. It was really fun. These are the visual and graphics enhancement mods, and it just adds a little bit of viewing pleasure to your experience. So cockpit glass, which I think I'm going to get rid of because with the mods that I use, I'm not sure yet. I really like the effect, but with the mods that I use, a lot of the cockpit glass gets overwritten. So I may or may not keep this one in, but it's a really cool effect. The Colorized Heat Gauge is a simple mod that replaces the vanilla heat gauge. Von Biomes is an overhaul of a lot of the landscapes, the foliage, dynamic lighting, adds weather, ambient sounds. It adds new locations. It's a really awesome mod. It adds tons of variety to the maps and the different landscapes that you visit. It keeps the maps fresh and new. This is one of my favorite mods. This page is all about mechs. For the most part, all of these mods just add additional mechs to play around with, as we all like to play with new toys. Additionally, there are a few mods that don't add mechs, but add details to those mechs, like Grayson's Speed Tweak, which changes the speeds of mechs to be more accurate to tabletop play. And then Scary Tanks, it makes tanks, turrets, and VTOLs more dangerous, as they should be. it adds another level to the game. The YAML Mech Lab changes the vanilla Mech Lab to be more like MechWarrior Online, and it adds a bunch of MWO variants, weapons, and hardpoints to those mechs. A few standouts as far as mechs are concerned is the Clan Invasion mod, and it adds approximately 1.6 bajillion mechs and variants to the game, as well as yet another legendary mech which adds 13 more chassis, and then more than 150 total variants of those chassis. So these add a lot of extra gameplay to the game, which is why I really like these mods. And this next page is all about weapons. And just like the last page, you can see what weapons are available with these mods. Yet Another Weapon Emporium adds a crap ton of different weapons and options, including anti-aircraft guns, railguns, and more. I can't wait to actually use a railgun. I haven't seen one yet in my playthrough. With Yet Another Weapon, you can balance weapons in the mod options. And Yet Another Weapon Clan adds clan weapons that you would find in MechWarrior Online. I'm not sure if you guys are MechWarrior Online fans. I'm actually contemplating I've played a little bit. I'm actually contemplating starting a stream on learning how to play MechWarrior Online. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I'm thinking about it. And then Yet Another Equipment Collection adds not only weapons, but other helpful equipment. It adds Hargil self-repair systems, which I haven't used yet. Sounds really cool. The Black Carapace and heat dissipating armor, which also sounds super cool. And it does a lot more than that. This next section has all the mods that don't fit. The first two mods basically just add compatibility for other mods. Mod options give configuration options for other mods. So the mod uses it, and then you are able to change configurations in the mod options panel. The MW5 compatibility pack, MW5 compatibility pack. I cannot. Oh my god. MW5 compatibility pack is used by modders to increase compatibility across the millions of mods that I have on my list, and like 35. Basically, the modding community use these types of mods so they play nice on the playground with other mods. And then remove jump ship animation makes it so you don't have to watch an additional 10 minutes of jump ship animation whenever you travel to another planet. Because, no one cares. And I say 10 minutes, but it feels like 10 minutes. It's only 10 seconds? So these are the mods I use. It adds a ton of variety to the game, and I just don't like playing vanilla anymore after using all these mods. There's a lot of talented people that put a lot of hard work into this, and so it just adds so much more to the game, in my opinion. So those are the mods I use in my MechWarrior 5 playthrough. I hope you enjoyed learning about them. You can find the link for this website in the description below, where you can find all the resources that I've shown here today. The site is a work in progress, so stay tuned for more content. Also, watch out for other videos I plan on doing, like how to install mods and how to use the Nexus Mods. Those will be coming really soon. And then I also have some new formats to break up the monotony of to break up the monotony of the episodes and playthroughs I've been doing. So like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see more of related to mods, how to use them, or just any content for that matter. If there's something you'd like to see me cover or do or play, just let me know in the comments and I will try to make that happen. And I think that's going to do it for the mod showcase. If you enjoyed the content today, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop for future content. Until then, stay frosty, and I'll catch you in chaos next time.